All right, Biashara Tuesday is still on air, and we're back here to have a very important conversation. But before that, just to acknowledge those guys who are tuned into the show so far and maybe read some of that feedback. Ninezreje Nikais. That's a really good name, but sounds very Rwandese. If you're watching us from Rwanda, Tuambie, good job. And you're saying good job. Welcome to the show. Please do tell us where you are watching us from. Fishtown, KE, watching us from the City of Angels along Thika Road. And Sema always ready for Tuesday for Money Matters show, Biashara Tuesday. And Sema the show is great. It's always the best day of the week, courtesy of Biashara Tuesday. Asante sana for tuning in again and again. Fishtown, you can check him out in Fishwear 2020. You can check out his handle. He'll plug you on some of the best fashion brands around and also dress you up real well. Yeah, if you see me with nice shoes on this show sometime, know that those are from Fishwear 2020. On Twitter there, I see Maite Jones also interacting with us there. Joseph Keys from KUTV also interacting with us on the stream there. Kelly, Natalie as well, retweeting and also interacting with our tweets all over social media. Remember to tag us at KUTV Kenya and use the hashtag Biashara Tuesday. That's how easily I can get to look at your conversation and also the feedback that you guys are giving in regards to the conversations we are having here on this show. Mental health problems are a big conversation that has now been put into the spotlight all over the world, and also mostly in Africa, where there's been neglect in how we are handling our mental. In Kenya, suicide rates are going up. The youth are facing a couple of problems, from relationship problems to joblessness to the economic crisis that is there all across the world. How do you keep sane in this situation? Should you meditate? Should you get prescription from your doctor to deal with anxiety? Or how exactly should you go around issues of mental health? I'm having that conversation with one law student from the Catholic University of East Africa, but also he is a mental health advocate. Alan Kuchwa is going to be here on the set with me. He has a couple of books out as well that you can have a look at, and also is a founder of Mother of Reason. We're going to see what that is about and how you can plug in to some of those things that he's doing in an effort to sensitize and also to alleviate issues surrounding mental health. So have us look at your questions if you have any regards to mental health. If you're a business person, sometimes there's too much noise in your head. How do you keep calm in that kind of situation? We're coming back for that. Don't go too far. All right, here is Alan Paul Kuchwa with me on the show. Welcome to the set. How are you doing?
Good.
Right. Welcome to the show for the first time. Maybe for the guys who are now joining us to get to know you, you're a law student. You're also having a look at issues of mental health. Introduce yourself to us. How should we know you?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Alan Kuchwa, as you've been told. And I'm just a human being living here on earth. Yeah, so right. Apart from doing law, I'm passionate about mental health, because society is all about the social connections. Mm-hmm. And that is where the problem comes in. Right. When we connect socially, we hurt each other, we become somehow intolerant with each other. Mm-hmm. And that's why I made a decision to really passionately talk about these issues, apart from doing my career, that is law.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. You're a human being. You're just like me.
Yes.
So we have something there in common. Of course, also an enthusiast of trying to sensitize people in issues around mental health. Why do you think? Maybe we can start there. Why do you think that's important? Why should we care about mental health?
Yeah, we should care because a human person is basically about how they interact with one another. And you see, a human person has a wild nature of being selfish. Sometimes he is a selfish being, you know. And in living together, even brothers and sisters fight over land, they fight over property, you get. So I think it's important, because once we cannot have a common point of understanding between man or human beings, and then that is where society collapses. They're going to kill each other. I mean,
Right.
yes. So
Okay.
for us to moderate the idea of living together in harmony and peace, we have to really focus on mental health.
Okay, you have books out. Maybe we can also begin there. Could I have a look at that as well?
Yes.
This is The Present is the Seed. So it's the book I have here, and this other one is The Fear of Guilt. You have 4 books out. What are the
Yes.
2 other ones?
Yeah, the two are student programs for mentorship. One
Right.
is for prefect inductions,
Mhm.
and then another one is for students just for the well doing in school. It's called
Right.
an A student.
Okay.
Yes.
Prefect induction, by that you mean high school prefect?
High school prefect and induction.
All right.
Yes.
I think we'll mention that in a bit, but what inspired you to write these books at a young age, as still a student of law, and you have 4 books out?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say it's not just being Alan. I can't credit myself, for doing all these things.
Okay.
It's been an effort of a lot of people, a lot of teachers, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, the church, to just grow up. It's been a whole process. It's never an event.
All right.
So I think as I grew up and saw how society was, I saw brothers who are in mental, health issues, who are in addictions. I saw people in the church who used to suffer, just a lot of things in society. I got the passion, the inspiration to put something down, so that generations can read and we can really eradicate the idea of people suffering mentally.
Right.
Yes.
And as you're a law student, we are also going to be talking in a short while about Mother of Reasons,
Yes.
which is Mother of Reason, which is also something that you're a founder of as a brand. But you're a law student, you have Mother of Reason, you have 4 books out. How do you said it's not an event, it's a process. How do you balance this whole process?
No man is limited. No man is limited.
Okay.
And it's my call to the young people out there that you can do it. You are not limited to do anything you want to do, as long as it's passion. In school, let me just say, as a student, you have like 30% of your time in class. What are you doing out there?
Yeah.
And that's also another effect of mental health. The way you use your 70% will tell whether you're going to be mentally stable or not mentally stable.
Okay.
So that's why I realized when I do all these things, I think I do a lot of things at a time, but I don't get the pressure. I don't get the. I feel like I have a lot of time with me.
Right.
So yes, I have a lot of time with me to do all these things, and I don't feel pressure at all.
Do you think the rest of us also have this time? It's just that we are not seeing it, maybe.
I wouldn't say that's the position, but there's time. There is time to do anything. Yes.
Right. The Lao Tzu. You're going to correct me if this is not the correct pronunciation. The Lao Tzu says, knowing others is wisdom, but knowing self is enlightenment. Could you tell us a little bit about maybe each of your books real quick, starting with this one where I've read that quote, knowing others is wisdom, but knowing self is enlightenment. The fear of guilt. Also, did I pronounce that correct?
Yes.
Lao Tzu?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
The Lao Tzu.
Okay. Lao
So
Tzu.
I think one of the major themes that run across my books, even the high school programs, is the theme of self-justice,
Okay.
the theme of self-identity. You notice that every time you fall into depression or stress, there is always an idea of you yourself lacking in face. You're getting. Somebody said that being young or a child is slavery. Being a youth is a quagmire. It's about questioning everything. And then being old is a sickness. I mean, you sit down and you tell yourself, oh,
it's over.
the old days are gone.
Right.
You get. So the whole point of my books is self-justice, advocating that people find themselves from the very earliest time possible. Because when society inflicts or puts a lot of information in your head, controls you, puts everything into you, at the end of the day you get lost. So and that's why I say knowing yourself is enlightenment. You're getting. You know how to drive yourself as a youth, as you go into the future. From the present, you connect the dots. You don't get from one point, you regret the other day. All that stuff. So I just try to say that we need to build self-justice. In whatever you do, you ask yourself, is this justice to me?
Right.
And that's why I always pose the question every day: what you have chose to become, are you comfortable with it? Is that justice to you?
Okay.
Yes.
Are you doing justice to yourself?
yourself.
All right.
Yes.
So is the fear of guilt looking at that, or what is it about? Is it reflecting at not having guilt? Or what are the contents of this one before we can look at the present is the seed?
The fear of guilt is, in fact, a mental health, book, and it talks about knowing your emotions, knowing yourself in terms of how you feel. You're getting, there's how society has put out here that you should be, mostly for men. They tell men should not show the emotions.
Right, you cry.
And you cry in the stomach.
Right.
Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to put out is how do you deal with the fear of guilt? How do you deal with fear itself? You're getting, and I'm trying to say that fear is a natural thing. It's built in man, and it's Aristotle who says that it's only a fool who does not respond to an event of anger with anger. Somebody cannot step on your feet, then you laugh. Something must be wrong with you somewhere.
Okay.
You're getting.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is we need to understand how we feel, and then once you understand how we feel, how do we moderate our emotions?
Okay.
To who are they, important?
All right.
So your emotions are only important to yourself. You're getting. So if I'm feeling like I'm hungry today, and then I know that I'm hungry, so I'll wake up, go and work hard, ask you for some food. But if you don't give me that food, I should not beat you. I should not hit you back. You're getting.
Because that's all about you.
Yes, it's all about me.
All right.
So how do I feel? How do I deal with it at the end of the day?
Okay, the present is the seed. I looked at this title, and the first thing that came to my head is meditation, because that's where I hear the phenomenon of presence, being present, is heavily propagated. Is this about it? And what more can you tell us about this book?
And the present is the seed, and you're correct. The idea of reflection and meditation. If your mind is always thinking about tomorrow, it means you have too much noise in your head.
It's a monkey mind.
You're always thinking about the something, the tomorrow, what will come, how will I be? You're getting. And I will put it clearly that imaginations are good for our being, for our striving to do better. But the present is the seed. I'm trying to tell people that you have nothing called the future, because the future is the present.
Right, you're already in the future.
Imagine 10 years ago, you said, I will be something in 10 years.
10 years.
Now today is that 10 years.
Right.
It's the future.
We have arrived in the future.
Yeah, in the future. You're getting.
Okay.
So the present is always going to the future. So I tell people that always sit down and meditate about today. Think about how you're preparing today for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
I immediately zoned out and started thinking about today. So I believe it does work. And the other two, including the prefecture induction, you are as neat as I would imagine a prefect looks like. Is that also inspired? Is that what inspired your book? Were you a prefect as well?
Yes, I was a school captain.
Okay.
At one point in life, and it was a good experience. I mean, I learned a lot. So I chose to also, send the information to the rest.
Okay. Yes, so this is a book that high school students can get to find somewhere?
Yes. And also in the inductions, if schools will come in to train prefects and see how to do better, around leadership.
Right. How has your writing now made an impact on you personally and maybe professionally as well?
Thank you. Writing has been of great impact to my, let me say, mental stability. I'm also a human being, as I said in the beginning, and I've broken down severally. But in writing and reading, I've realized that I mastered the art of meditation, the art of reflection, the art of patience, because writing takes a lot of patience.
Right.
You see the discipline that it comes with it. So I think writing has been something that has built virtue in me. The virtue, you have to wake up and edit the book. Sometimes you have to do 5 editorials, for you to publish the book. So the discipline that it has put in me has been so immense, and I think that is the positive part of it.
Okay.
Yes.
You're mental health advocate at Mother of Reason. First, what is Mother of Reason, and why that name specifically, and what goes on at Mother of Reason?
Mother of Reason, this comes up in 2019, and I even don't know what it was. I mean, it was just something that came in my mind. I was an enthusiast of philosophy. I loved philosophy so much. Okay. So I used to read about philosophy, Aristotle, Plato, and then something came to my mind. I said, philosophy is about reason. And then, I used to see people do reckless things in society, just living recklessly. I mean, why is it that you fight when you have, quarrels? Why is it that you have to always disagree on everything? And I realized, can't we have a reasonable society?
Right.
And that's why I said, let's have mother of reason, that we can have a society of harmony through reason.
Okay.
And that is basically how it came up. And now, once I had it, I said, what do I do with this mother of reason? So I began doing mentorship in schools, doing therapy, you know, for peers. And it's been a great deal.
Okay.
It's done a lot of impact also through writing, because all these things I do under Mother of Reason. Yes.
Right. So now, what are your goals? What do you aim to achieve with Mother of Reason? You know, the end goal in, as you said, 10 years ago.
Yes.
Today is 10 years in the future
The
from 10 years ago. So in the future of Mother of Reason, what do you hope to achieve?
What I hope to achieve with Mother of Reason is to have a lot of sensitization around mental health, have a good idea on therapies, you know, just counseling psychology around society. Now, Mother of Reason is a brand, as I call, and I will say something about brands, just, you know, for the sake of, because it's business.
Biashara Tuesday, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a proponent of 5 basic things in life. 1 is self-identity, 2 is branding, 3 is income, 4 is investments, and 5 is profession and career. These are things that marry together, and that's why I'm building Mother of Reason. You see, it's so boring that you wake up every day and go to office and come back home. What do you do as a passion? What do you do for society? You see, it's much of giving back to the society. So Mother of Reason is much of wanting to just give back to society, to help people, you know, understand the issues about reason, about mental health, about, you know, even business. You know, how do you do business well? How do you do business that is clean? You're getting, because one of the ways why we are getting into depression is also doing things that are not clean.
Shady businesses. Right.
Yes.
They're constantly looking at your back, waiting for the day that they catch you.
And now you're
going
to behave like you're okay, but you're not okay.
Right.
Yes.
And that's a mental health issue in itself. Right. As an advocate of mental health wellness at Mother of Reason, how would you advise then someone who's also currently watching the show and they are going through depression and anxiety and all of those mental health problems? How would you, what pointers will you give them to approach this situation?
First and foremost, I would say that depression is a hard thing. Depression is a sickness, and it's not as easy as you think. Now, one thing that we fail to understand is that when somebody is depressed, and you know, depression is a whole wide subject. When somebody is depressed, one of the things that they lack within them is that themselves are not in the periphery or in the face. You see, you lose yourself. So this is an empty person who is not in existence. You're getting. So we need to seek help. That's the first thing, because when you're depressed or when you're low, you lose yourself. You are not in existence. So how do you help yourself when you indeed are not
not even able
to do that yourself?
Okay.
So you seek help.
Okay.
Secondly, I advocate for a self-help plan. Now, self-help plan is it also includes seeing somebody, you know, for help. But we must also understand the nature of human beings. I mean, everybody is going through different stuff in life.
Yeah, even your therapist has a therapist.
Yes, your therapist has a therapist, and your therapist is somebody's therapist.
Right.
A lot of, you know, things around life. So as you seek help, we also understand that, and that's why in the book I talk of understanding the emotions, doing reflections, sit down and ask yourself, how did this come about? Because, for example, there are people who are depressed from addictions to alcohol, to pornography, and all those stuff. You see, all these people know when it started. So you have to trace back
to day one.
Yes, to where did it start? Because the only person in the world you should never fool is yourself. I mean, why should you pretend around yourself? Why should you tell yourself, no, this is not how it happened, and yet you really know the truth? So get back to the root, know how it started,
right,
and then draw a line and ask yourself, what was it before, and what is it then?
Right. How can society in general then address mental health issues and addictions that you've just mentioned?
Let me say that one of the best foundations of dealing with mental health is family. You know, we come from the first social contract being family, right? And a lot of people are depressed out here, and you'll agree with me that a lot of people depressed out here are depressed because of the pressure of society.
Right.
Do you have children?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to school? Do you have a degree? Okay, you went to school. Do you have the money now? We need the money, back to the...
Where is the job?
Yes, where is the job? All those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about asking our parents and our children to have a moderated kind of idea to life. That the best gift that the parent you can give to a child is the gift of one education and the gift of time.
Mm-hmm.
After education, give them time. Let them figure out life. Let them get out here and get skills, gain skills, get to life and all that. And then for you as a child, the best gift that you can give to a parent and to society is one, the gift of time. Give yourself time. And two, patience.
Right.
A lot of young people are not patient out here. You're getting, and that's why I talk of the present is the seed. Because many people are looking at the future. Now their future is in 2 days. So he's chasing some bag, and then when a week is done and it's not here, they fall into depression. Give yourself time. It takes time. It doesn't just happen in one day. It will take time. Build it every day, grow it every day, give it passion. And then the results will just become automatic. Don't focus on the results, because when you focus on the results, at the end of the day, you're going to break down. Because you're like, when will the results come? You're getting. And
you're crying, waiting for the results to show up.
Just do the process, work on it every day, give it passion. And I think that's where the idea of grace comes in. Somebody told me that the sky is a mirror. It reflects on us. So it pays back. What you give. So basically, if you're giving your best and you're burning the midnight oil, it's going to give back at some time. So give yourself time and be patient.
Okay. Be patient and enjoy the journey and the process. Believe in the process, as they say in other places. How much are the books, and where can we get them?
The books are going at 500 shillings.
Okay.
Yes, I have a platform called motherofreason.co.ke. You can buy an online copy at 350 shillings each. And then if you need a copy of a hard copy, you can always reach me on my contact, WhatsApp.
We can give them the contacts before maybe we also now finally get the future plans for your writing and also for Mother of Reason, but your contacts first so that they can reach out after this show. Okay,
you can find me on Facebook at Alan Kuchwa, Twitter at Alan Kuchwa, on LinkedIn at Alan Kuchwa, and then my WhatsApp number.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my number is 0769701667.
All right. Yes. If you missed any of that, we will upload the conversation later, so you can roll back and then write down that number or reach out on social media. That's usually the easiest way in this current era. What are your future plans for writing and also for Mother of Reason as we wind this up and try and ensure we encourage people to take care of their mental health?
Yeah, my future plans is that one, I made a promise to myself to write at least a book in every year of my study in campus. So I'll be launching 2 books. Probably this year in November and next year.
If you are in UON, you will write 15 books because that will take you 15 years to do.
Because
no shade to my fans from the University of Nairobi.
I only have 4 years. Unfortunately, yes. So at least do enough books. And, just keep writing to let people out there know about mental health and self-justice. And then for Mother of Reason, I want to major more on therapy and also ensure that people understand advocacy, doing more advocacy in high schools and universities, just to ensure that people are out here, picking the right stuff and ensuring that they are patient with themselves and they're doing life the right way.
That's true.
Yes.
All right. That's great, man. Final call to action to mostly the people watching the show are young people who are either looking for jobs or opportunities or trying to do business, and they're looking for ideas here and there. And it's key that entrepreneurs have a cool head. Otherwise, you're going to have people burning businesses and stoning and walking into other people's property. How your call to action to ensure that the youth are keeping calm. We have a very tough political period we are going through, and also an economic crisis, and elevated inflation and so on and so forth. Call to action to them to keep their head cool.
Yeah. So I will say this. One, silence is very key in terms of trying to find yourself in life. Be quiet. a lot of us are in the noise. We always wanting to shout, yes, I'm here, I'm there, I'm doing that. And secondly, on the issues of mental health and depression, if you really cannot speak to somebody who is depressed as a depressed person, don't speak to them. Just let them be. Even for a child, if you're talking to a child and you speak to them not as a child, then don't speak to them, because you're just causing a lot of harm to their lives. And lastly, to the young people out there in the university, talking of employment and all that, create a brand. There's something that you're passionate about. Begin creating a brand and connect yourself. You see? Now, something that I didn't say, and I'll just say shortly.
Sure.
A human being is made up of three things: the spirit, the mind, and the body. Have you ever taken a photo and then the phone shakes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what you end up with?
Right, a shaky image.
A shaky image. You can't even see who this is.
Yeah.
That's how many of us look like when we're depressed. You can't connect. Somebody cannot tell who you are.
Right.
You're seeing yourself physically, but somebody cannot really tell who you are from the mental aspect of life.
Yeah.
So let's try to connect ourselves. Let's try to learn, our art and be connected. And by so doing, you're going to walk into offices, connect ourselves, pitch our brands, to people out there, make positive connections. Don't just go around picking phone numbers because somebody told you that, when you go to a function, make friends. Don't do that.
You're just there collecting.
What do you have to offer?
A working phone book.
Yeah, a working phone book. So you have many phone numbers, but literally nothing. So what do you have to offer? Is that skill, that talent, build it each and every day and pitch it out there. And at the end of the day, you're going to, get yourself, do well in life and be mentally stable.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Alan Kuchwa, mental health advocate and author as well. Check out his books.
Thank you so much.
We have here The Present is the Speed and The Fear of Guilt. 500 bob, hard copy, 350 on the soft version of it. So reach out to him and tell us how that went in terms of trying to get your mental health in check. We'll be having more of these conversations, so hopefully we can have you back again when we have something to look at in regards to developments in mental health, and Mother of Reason will be a very good brand to have on the show.
Anytime.
All right. One great philosopher called Kanye West said, life is the ultimate gift. Think about that. We'll be right back.